Great. Wonderful. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you to each of you that is here today in this beautiful day out of time. It's been a wonderful day for me. I'm going into the last few hours. And as we celebrate this wedding of the sun and moon, it's really just a joy for me to be here with you. I'd like to introduce each one to the other. Jonathan and Leonie, most of you know. Robin, who's in Pennsylvania. Andrea in a beautiful Fisher's Island. And Francis in Canada. Thank you so much. These are our beloved Soul Tribe members, and it's a great joy for me to welcome you here today. We're going to have a little bit of a sort of structured explanation. John's going to take us through what this day out of time really means and what the opportunities are for us. And then we'll do a brief alignment followed by a water meditation. So do remember to have your bowls with you if you have, just so that you can, because I will be asking you to place your hands over the water later on as we go into the meditation. We would like to record this with the potential for it being a podcast. If anybody is not keen to have their faces on the podcast, then please do keep your videos off. And hopefully everyone will be good with that, because we believe it's an opportunity to share some great wisdom and help others to rise up into their own gifts. So welcome, everyone. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you, Leonie. It may just be audio, which will be okay. We're going to speak on a few topics relating to the Noosphere and the Day Out of Time Festival, which is a worldwide event now, which has been emerging since the Harmonic Convergence back in the, I believe it was 1976, was it?
1986, 87.
87, yes, thank you. Yeah, that's right. When Jose Arguelles facilitated that worldwide event and the first global synchronized meditation. And as some of you may know, he went on to develop a new interpretation of the Mayan calendar, which is a sacred calendar in the sense that it harmonizes the moon, the sun, the earth, of course, with the galaxy itself. And he also published several books, many books, one of which is called The Manifesto of the Noosphere, which is recommended. So I will say a few words on the wedding of the sun and the moon shortly. The day before and the day after the day out of time today. The significance of the solar Sirius heliacal rising. It's a conjunction really, which used to coincide with the flooding of the Nile, but it still coincides with the Egyptian New Year. So that calendar is aligned with the rising of the star Sirius on the horizon with our sun. Also, to speak a little bit about the 260-day Tolkien, as it's called, which is really a Noosphere harmonic. That's the significance of the calendar from the Mayan tradition. Many calendars, or let's say cycles are incorporated into the calendar work of the galactic Maya, let's say. And then that will be followed. Leonie will lead us into, I will lead us into a meditation. Leonie will lead us into a water ceremony. We would like to follow up with a brief discussion on our group, this group's interest to take things forward by way of looking a little bit deeper into the Noosphere, the science of consciousness, and working in harmony with cyclic time. Okay, so let's go through. I've got some interesting slides here. I hope you find them interesting. So this is really a depiction of the awakening of humanity as the mind of the earth, the mental sphere, if you will, that surrounds the planet, and is a natural development from the biosphere, if you will, the next stage of evolution, and is really the moment that we're arriving at right now. It's the awakening of every individual man and woman and child to a recognition of oneness, and therefore our planet beginning to become sacred. That's simply another depiction in terms of geometry, the geometry of consciousness, if you will, as that sphere of mind or consciousness becomes ordered through the recognition of the energy of love. This is actually a depiction of the magnetosphere, the solar magnetic field, and the solar rays which flood space throughout the solar system. But in particular, as that solar field impacts the Earth and sets up a magnetic interplay. And it can perhaps be analogous to what some call the rainbow bridge, you know, the antakarana, the thread that connects each one of us as an incarnated being with the heart of our planetary life, of course, and also the heart of the sun. This is another depiction of it. I won't go into the technical details, but what I like about it, it's tilted on its side really, is that we kind of begin to see the outline of a human being. You know, the spiritual depiction of a living being. It can, of course, also be a tree or a plant, you know, with the branches extending overhead and the roots in the ground. And as we know, you know, all beings on our planet are created by the interplay of cosmic energy on or via the magnetic field, but also the etheric field. This is a very interesting image because it's made of blown glass, but it is actually an artistic creation of the Noosphere from the smallest, you know, atomic life up through the chain of consciousness, ascending and aspiring. It's also, of course, a spiral geometry. So there's many
John,
depictions.
may I interrupt you?
Of
These are
course.
such beautiful images. Would you make them available to us, please? They're wonderful for meditating on.
Yes, they are.
Is
Yes,
that possible?
it is.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, the noosphere comes depicted in many forms, and it's a natural progression from the earliest dawning of life via photosynthesis, one might say, and so it's therefore an organic development. This is a little bit more technical, but what we can see, and again, it's turned on its side, is that depiction of the formation of a human being, yes, but also it can be any life form that has a brain, a vertebrae or spinal column, and evolves through a combination of frequency and magnetic interplay. Not forgetting, of course, that the medium of interplay is really the universal etheric field. Now, to get down to something which is I find particularly intriguing is that there is a correspondence with the structure of the Earth as a whole being, with all its layers, and the human cell itself. And even though we would need to zoom in to read the detail there, we can essentially see that the human cell is a hologram of the Earth itself. And this is along the same lines, really, that the seed or the sperm itself is literally the brain and the spinal column. That when implanted within that cell or egg, then takes on shape, begins to create its body of manifestation. So everything is, as above, so below.
I have a little snippet that I'd like to throw in. I heard this last week, and it was so fabulous. We've all been taught in biology that it's the strongest and the fastest sperm that makes it to the egg. I think this is the general belief. However, they are now discovering that it is the woman, excuse me, the woman who sends out an impulse. She selects the sperm that she wishes to have fertilize her egg. So she sends out this impulse, which hits a sperm, and that's what makes him stronger and faster to get to where he needs to be. I thought that was so beautiful.
Yes, and it's again, it's an infusion, isn't it, of the combination of two energies, positive and receptive, masculine and feminine, and ultimately electrical in nature.
Yeah, the sun and the moon.
This is a quote from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Man is physically distinguished from all other animals by the entirely new fact that he not only knows, but knows that he knows. In him, for the first time on earth, consciousness has coiled back upon itself to become thought. To an observer unaware of what it signifies, the event might at first seem to have little importance, but in fact it represents the complete resurgence of terrestrial life upon itself. In reflecting psychically upon itself, life positively made a new start. In a second turn of the spiral, tighter than the first, it embarked for a second time upon its cycle of multiplication, compression, and interiorization. This is how the thinking layer of the Earth, as we know it today, the Noosphere, came rapidly into being from the future of man. And we're at that, this is the turning point of the ages as we enter into the age of Aquarius. Okay, now this is hopelessly, out of vision for us to really get to. It's a very powerful image created by Jose Arguelles, which essentially depicts the development of life from the lower sphere and then the arrival, the turning point of the movement, the interiorization toward the Noosphere. So I've expanded that lower segment. And I'll read just a few keywords there. The primal self-existing luminous God source, the God source of divine intelligence from which emanates continuous impulses concretized as plasmic streams of potential materiality. And this is the increasing divergence of the unconscious noosphere. So it implies an expansion of the social life and culture over eons of humanity, the rising and falling of civilization, individualization, and that word hominization, the recognition of humanity, not just as a unique, independent species, but one that is interdependent and interconnected. So at that equatorial point that we've arrived at now, there is an increasing convergence and development of the conscious noosphere. So, socialization of compression, psychic totalization, and the crisis point, the choice point, and the necessity for internalization, and therefore the recognition of planetary wholeness and also of the recognition of simply being the one humanity on this earth and awakening as the mind of the earth itself.
It's quite an extraordinary diagram. You look at all the information that he's put in there. It's quite something. Looking forward to seeing it. Yeah.
Yes, it's really a planetary map, and Jose Arguelles was a prophet, really. His writings are extensive, and he has laid out not just the manifesto of the noosphere, but the science of consciousness as it's woven into cycles of the cosmos itself.
Mm-hmm.
Did he draw that image? Because I think the color is very interesting too. I think that there's, you know, the detail within that drawing in every
Yes.
aspect is very purposeful. And so it's interesting if he in fact drew the entirety of it.
I believe so, and he was an artist as well as an author, and some of his art is quite mind-blowing.
Mm.
Okay, so we're also focusing on the significance of the day out of time as it is a marker on the calendar to remind us that that of the rising of the sun conjunct Sirius. And typically that we would see this more visibly from the equator and perhaps south. Sirius is not visible in the north at the moment, but Orion will rise, quickly followed by Sirius with the sun. And these are referring to the dog days of summer, the dog star Sirius. So it would appear on the horizon something like this, and it's not just one day. It is a slightly moving date, because we speak of also of the 8th of the 8th, and that Lion's Gate is also synchronous with the rising of the star Sirius. There you can see Orion's belt, that constellation, and the star Sirius just preceding dawn. I love this image. It's Egyptian in nature. It represents the star god, the Milky Way, the galactic wheel, and for the Egyptians, the Nile River itself. As we know, pretty much all of the temples along the Nile Delta were placed according to the positions of stars and constellations. Okay, so let's pause there, and if anyone would like to share anything for a short while, any
I'd like to
impressions?
comment, if I may. That last image that you shared, John, really beautiful, speaking again to the blue beings. So blue is coming through very strongly at this time. I mean, tomorrow we have the start of the next cycle on a blue rhythmic storm. And so I love that beautiful image of the stars and the Egyptian depiction of the Milky Way. It's really, really lovely. Thank you.
Yes, I found it beautiful as well. I would just like to ask, I don't know what is meant by the galactic wheel. Could you say more about that, please, Jonathan?
Sure. Let's put that image back up there. There it is. It's on the horizon. Now, if we look to the Milky Way, it depends really of the time of the year, but sometimes if we're lucky enough to see the night sky when the Milky Way is so bright, usually perhaps before the new moon, then one begins to recognize the wheel of the Milky Way, the galaxy itself. Because that is exactly what it is. And from our place, our position on the Earth within the solar system, it's quite easy to recognize that it's actually surrounding the entire Earth and is visible as a wheel. So that's I'm calling it the galactic wheel.
So is it is it sort of like the perimeter of this
Yes,
galaxy?
that's right. It's curious because we are somewhere, not exactly in the center of it, but we're looking out horizontally to that band of stars, as if, we know the solar system is also, the orbits of the planets are all within a spectrum, like a horizontal band. So it is with the Milky Way galaxy that it completely and perfectly surrounds us. So when we look up there to the sky, it forms like a rainbow. And of course, half of it is beneath us, half of it is above us.
That's those images are wonderful. So it's like there's the correspondence, the infinite correspondence of the galaxy is in that image.
Yes,
You can
yes, it
just see
is.
it go on and on. Wonderful.
And you can see there's a correspondence there, as above,
Yeah,
so below. Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Thank you, Fran. Okay. Anyone else? Robin, Andrea?
I'm just in awe why I was guided to listen in. It kind of coincides with the session I had with Araya yesterday, Leonie. So I'm just absorbing. There's information here that I need for my journey. So thank you.
Beautiful. I'm happy to hear that, Robin. It gave me big hits as well. Everything seems to be coming together in a really beautiful picture. So yeah, I'm excited. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so let's see if we can, 1 minute, go to the next step. And we'll speak a little bit about the wedding of the sun and the moon and associated elements. So today is the day out of time. And I'd like to come back to that in a short moment, but we will take that seed thought into meditation. I empower in order to reflect, commanding order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the overtone of radiance. I am guided by the power of death. The day of white overtone mirror. These are seed thoughts from the motion of the lunar and solar cycle as those two are reflected upon the earth. Now then, I'd like to start here really, and what we're looking at is the...
John?
Yes, Leonie.
Is it meant to be broken up into a blue pyramid like that?
Oh, perhaps you're not seeing what I'm seeing.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's try starting that one again. Oh, right. You see
There we
that?
go. Yes, that's perfect.
Okay. Fine. Okay, so what we're looking at is a sacred calendar. This is 13 lunar months, each of 28 days. And of course, there's no need for me to tell you the significance of 28. It's the feminine cycle. So a sacred calendar really honors and respects the divine feminine, the creative nature of the cosmos. So I'm just going to re-echo. The lunar cycle consists of 13 by 28 day months, if you will. Now, the question is how to resolve that with the solar cycle. 13 times 28 is actually 364. So hence the day out of time. It's a day extra, which coincides with the solar cycle. And it's helpful in the sense of its significance, that it's an opportunity to step beyond the confinement of our conceptions of time itself. Now, the day tomorrow, beginning the new solar Sirius year, is indicated by blue rhythmic storm.
Can we ask a question and interrupt?
Anytime, friend, please, yes.
Okay. I just had a moment there when you said that about the divine feminine number 28 was new to me. And then you said the 13 by 28 days totals the 364, the day out of time. And it just struck me that was that, do you think, the beginning of why the Catholic Church decided to create this Gregorian calendar?
Oh, I should imagine.
They knew they knew about numerology, so they had this knowledge. Oh,
Yes.
that's amazing.
So I mean, in the ancient world, if you go to Stonehenge, it's a solar lunar calendar. And so, there you have it. The day out of time is essentially the wedding or the marriage of the sun and the moon on Earth in terms of the measure of cyclic time. Also of space, of course. Time and space is a yin and yang by itself. Now, so we have a very natural cycle of 13. 13 is the point at the center of 12. So we have 12 constellations, or in the solar calendar, we have 12 months of the year. We also have 12 disciples, male and female, but it's the Christ or the Sophia Christ which is at the center, which makes the 13th point, that point in the center of the circle, which is really everywhere present. So the pattern that we're seeing there is also a depiction of the galaxy. It's a spiral. And as I say, tomorrow marks the first day of the 364-day lunar calendar. And that has the keynote of rhythmic storm, blue rhythmic storm. And I'll come to that in a moment. Now, where we are today is in the bottom left-hand corner. This is actually a 13-day sequence. So we're beginning to look into the nature of the calendar in terms of 13-day, what we call wave spells. It's simply a holon or a fractal of the bigger cycle. And that 13, the number 13 simply holds true whether we're talking about the geometry of space, the geometry of music, 13 semitones in an octave, or 13-day cycles. So tomorrow is, yes, Leonie.
Yes, John. I'd just love to share. I'm not sure if everyone has seen that, but we have done a beautiful oracle on this particular wave spell. It's the latest of our Noosphere transmissions, and there's a lot of really beautiful information. It's a powerful wave spell here, going from the white magnetic magician, which for me symbolizes the Christ, all the way through to cosmic world bridger guided by love. I mean, this is such a beautiful wave spell for us to align with, synchronized too, and bring our pieces. So I just wanted to remind everybody, have a look at that. Thanks,
Thank you.
John.
Yes, it is. We've gone into that quite deeply. Consider that these keynotes are not really the personal I speaking. It's coming from above and beyond. So when we speak these keynotes, they really are so valuable to take into contemplation, to allow that frequency from the cosmos to seep down into resonance with one's being. So the beginning of a particular wave spell, a 13-day cycle, always begins with the keynote of purpose, the magnetic tone of purpose. And I'm just going to deal with 2 or 3 here. So the sequence that we're presently in, of which the day out of time is today, in that more or less the midway point, begins with, as Leonie said, magnetic wizard or magnetic magician. And its keynote is, I unify in order to enchant, attracting receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness with the magnetic tone of purpose. So the wave spell is quite extraordinary, because it's from that realm of timelessness that there is an infusion, really, of white magic, of the white magician. And to me, it's clearly speaking of the precipitation of pure love, pure wisdom, the wisdom of the Sophia Christ, through this turning point of the day out of time into humanity, to reorder our life and affairs. So we'll come back to that day out of time keynote in a minute. In fact, no, let's go there right now. So can you now see the pyramid on the screen?
No, we still see the 13-day wave spell.
Oh, okay. All right then. So let's come back in. And now I believe it should be visible.
Yes, this is tomorrow, start of the blue storm year, right?
Right. So I'm to begin with, I'd like to talk about yesterday. The keynote of self-existing Earth, red self-existing Earth. And the keynote really refers to synchronization and that movement of awareness and perception that, if you recall how it felt yesterday, there was a very distinct energy to the day, and it felt like, aha, that moment of recognition that there's been big changes happening in the last 2 weeks, several shocking events, And yet there's that aha moment. Things have changed, things have shifted. And we could begin to even talk about, okay, I define in order to evolve, measuring synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the self-existing tone of form, guided by the power of space. How that speaks to me is that there's an awareness of a recognition within, let's say, groups of people or within peoples of a nation, of having arrived at a certain moment or choice point. And as we find our way, as we navigate our way, our passage, our path of purpose, we begin to see the new form arriving in our awareness. I know that Leonie and yourself, Robin, you were in a particular activity yesterday, which would have brought through a new recognition of awareness, and as that precipitated apparently from space. Now, yesterday was the last day, you notice the number 28, that was the last day of the cosmic moon of presence. So every lunar cycle has its own significance. And it needs little interpretation. The cosmic moon of presence, being in that energy of presence itself, and into today. So, you know, the earth breathes in and breathes out. It has its diurnal rhythm, day and night. So that's how the etheric field of the earth, the planet, receives this cosmic infusion, as I say, through the heart of the sun, that is like the background or energy of our experience, which is entirely complementary to the astrological interpretation, which is really the energy depicted in terms of space. So this is a depiction in terms of time, but it works in just the same way. So the energy of today is quite extraordinary. And the keynote, I empower in order to reflect, commanding order. So it's white overtone mirror. Mirror is like held up there as a reflection of the nature of endlessness, of one being, of one life in many forms, and yet in one consciousness, in one beingness. And we are each given this empowering opportunity to command through the power of love, through the power of the heart, to reorder the nature of our life and affairs. And interestingly, to be guided by the power of death. I mean, how significant is that? The invitation to let go, to release ourselves from form, you know, from identifying with sensation or with intellect or with, you know, emotions of one kind or another. We have those attributes, but we are not those characteristics. So this is an opportunity. As I say, these keynotes are very, very deep. They're very profound. And you notice that there is it's not the moon of presence, it's the day out of time. But tomorrow we step
John?
in. Yes, Leonie.
Please excuse me, but I've got to jump in when I've got something to say. What I love about the guide today is World Bridger. So it's because that is what we're moving to at the end of this particular wave spell, the World Bridger, the cosmic World Bridger, so that we can bring about this beautiful expansion. And it's as though the World Bridger is present today, in this day, to remind us and to keep us holding to our vision what we want to achieve in this cycle.
Yes,
And if I may also ask about the symbols in the center, are they directly related to what you said about the bridging?
yes, in a sense, they're really depictions from the Mayan cosmology, and slightly, modernized. But the image on the left is the mirror over time, is the reflective nature of the mirror, endlessness, in 4 directions, you can say. And this on the right is a depiction of the world bridger, the one who bridges between the worlds.
Okay. So they're constant. They don't change depending on the day.
That's right. They're a combination of the 13 and the 20. So we'll take a look at that now.
Do you have that image of the 13 lunar tones and the 20? We don't really need the lunar tones. We need the solar seals. John, do you have it handy? Otherwise, I can bring it up and just show. I understand what Frank is asking. It'll be good for us all to see the others. Do you want me to get it up?
I've got it here.
Oh, great.
Here we go. I think this is the one you were referring to. This one?
That one, and then there's the one of the 20 solar seals, which shows the seed, the moon, the earth, the warrior, all of those.
I'll put that up following this one. So in terms of the fractal of the energy of the Milky Way galaxy, we have a pathway through time, which leads us from the magnetic impulse to align with our soul purpose. And every pathway of purpose has its own challenge. And that comes into view on day 2. Once we've recognized that polarity, we can then begin to activate our purpose. And that comes in day 3, which is characterized by the electric tone of service. So service to others activates our purpose and leads us towards the fulfillment of our particular path, be it our life path or simply a 13-day cycle, where the impulse refolds back to the cosmic, and hence it's called, in this particular cycle, cosmic world bridger. Okay, and then the I think it's this one. No.
I think it's called, I gave it the name Solar Seals, or what did I call it? Tribes. Okay,
1 minute.
You called it seals, I think, because I saw it once.
Yes. Yeah. It's the 20 solar seals.
Yeah.
And they can also be referred to as tribes. On some of the Tolkien websites where you can get this information freely. On the lawoftime.org is a great resource. It's what I use a lot, and others such as 13moon.com or Mayan Kin is also great. And they have explanations of the various energies related to each of these 20 tribes.
You might want to put it up, Leon, if you find something a little bit less. But I'll
you
just
carry
talk briefly
on, John.
about this.
I'll look for it.
Yeah. So this is a depiction of the 260-day Tolkien. Now, I've spoken about the 13 by 28-day lunar year. Now we can speak a little bit about the that particular 260-day cycle, which relates our Earth to Venus in particular, but it's really a 260 days. It's a fractal of the 2,600 or 26,000 year cycle. It's a fractal, in other words. And it must have taken the Mayan civilization thousands of years, or really cosmic, divinity, to arrive at that brilliant understanding. So it's like a wheel. We can view it as simply as like a wheel with 260 cogs, and on the top we have 13. We can count 13, which is the wave spell we've just spoken to, and down the vertical there are 20 tones, I believe it is.
No, seals.
Seals, 20 seals,
20
right? So you've
seals.
13 tones and 20 seals. And the 20 links us to the solar, to the frequency of the sun.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
I
And,
have that image when you're ready,
yeah.
John, just to
All right.
let you know.
I'll take that down.
You give me a screen share, please.
So
Okay.
glad you're recording this.
Yes, it's a lot of information, Fran, and it's stuff that we can, even those of us that know this, or as people that work with it, there's always some beautiful gems that land and keys that come in for us to have a greater understanding of it. So these are the Tolkien 20 tribes, or solar seals, as they refer to them. And as you can see, dragon. So that is always, whenever you see that glyph, that is the dragon. This is wind. It took me a long time to remember them. I mean, John's amazing. He can recite the affirmation and the sea thought for every day. But I still have to sometimes have a look. Oh, is this? Oh, this is hand. Yes, of course, it's hand. But as you can see, there are 20: dragon, wind, knight, seed, serpent, world bridger, hand, star, moon, dog, monkey, and so on. And each of them has its own energy and words that depict what that solar seal is.
Well, thank you for opening that door, because now I see that my solar seal human is referring to the energy at the moment of my birth. Is that a fair conclusion?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. That's how it is. So, we encourage everyone to discover your galactic signature of your birth, your birthing moment, and to contemplate that, so that one can breathe into that understanding, and then how that relates to the particular 13-day sequence that you were born into, because that also depicts your life path. I'm going to and we can assist you to know your particular signature. it would be a pleasure. I'm going to briefly interpret just a few words for each of those to give us a bit of an understanding. So dragon energy has to do with birthing, nurturing, and being. And it starts the cycle. If you listen to an earlier podcast, we spoke about the Tolkien cycle of 260 days begins with dragon and it concludes with cosmic sun. We can see that down there. So the first day is magnetic dragon. 260 days later is cosmic sun. So the dragon births the new impulse through the heart of the sun. And very interestingly, the second seal is wind, but this is breath, this is spirit, and it relates to communication, especially in relationships and especially in group consciousness. Night has to do with abundance, the life more abundance. Seed is exactly what it is. It's seeding, targeting our awareness to focus on purpose or some aspect of our life. Serpent has to do with the raising of energy, instinctual in one way, but also life force or kundalini in another. World bridger, going beyond form, beyond instinct. Bridging the antakarana. Hand has to do with healing and wholeness. Star is the energy of the higher self. You know, follow your star, that elegant energy of beauty that shines beyond the mind. Moon has to do with purification and flow, the waters of life. Dog, love, heart energy. Monkey, playful, illusionary on the one hand, reality on the other, right? You flip the coin. Human, gifted with free will, can influence others wisely on a good day. Skywalker energy, always fascinating. I know Leonie likes that energy in particular. It's like the cascading from intuition from space itself. The magician we've spoken to. Eagle has to do with vision. Warrior is the one who questions reality and is fearless in the quest. Earth brings us into synchronicity and the path of navigation. Mirror, today, endless reflections. Storm energy. Storm energy is the energy of recreation. And sun is that celestial or universal fire which breathes through all beings. So I'm going to share with you, if I may, one final element.
There we go. Fran, did that make a crystallized, beautiful picture for you?
That was amazing. Yes, this is wonderful. Thank you.
Me too. That was incredible. And I wrote so quickly, I think I got it all down, but because it's amazing what then the communication is. It's an amazing tool that guides. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Andrea, because that is its gift. And when we begin to work with it consciously as a compass, a practical guide, we can, well, you know, that is all it is. We can tune into the energy of the day itself. But, you know, it's become very clear to me that as we thread the days together from that magnetic tone to its cosmic conclusion, we get to see, aha, okay, that's where we need to be heading. That's going to be the focus. And it almost brings one into the pathway of prophecy, but it has a first ray element because we begin to see the end from the beginning. That, I think, is the real gift.
That's
So
incredible. Sorry.
I don't want to interrupt you, Robin. I just sort of get carried away.
So magical. This just is so fitting for everything we're sitting in right now. This is just, I'm in awe. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Robin. So,
And I was just going to say too, and my understanding, Jonathan, is that this is really yours and Leonie's first plunge into taking a group into this amazing wisdom that's opening up to us. And I was looking at Andrea and Robin and myself in the triangle we form internationally with Philadelphia and Victoria and Andrea, wherever you are at this moment. I don't know what state you're in.
I am in, well, the state is technically New York, but I'm off the coast of Connecticut, so.
Okay, so there we are, your triangle.
Yeah.
and we have another triangle between the continent of America, Europe, and Africa.
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful. Yes.
Okay, I'm almost done. So I believe you can see the year of blue rhythmic storm on the screen. Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's just a reminder of the nature of time depicted as a year, but in a harmonic pattern of 13 28-day months. Now, the first day of the new Sirius solar year, beginning tomorrow, has the frequency of blue rhythmic storm. So, probably I need to bring that back up. And we will find this as a sort of a low frequency undercurrent working out throughout the year. Okay, so we've just passed through a year of the magical work of the planetary heart center, the Christ, if you will, precipitating into the field of humanity necessary critical moments to begin to receive awareness of who we are, beingness. I think there's no doubt about it that humanity is in resonance, like it or not. There's nothing happening anywhere that doesn't touch us. So, entry into blue rhythmic storm. This is the year to come, guided by the magnetic moon of purpose. Now, if we can consider that for a moment, the nature of a storm, we can either be in the eye of the storm or we can be on the perimeter. And therefore, it's necessary for us to hold our center no matter what. And that center is within. It's where we find our true being, regardless of what's happening in the phenomenal world. Now, the nature of the blue storm has to do with self and collective regeneration. This, to me, is almost like the emergence from the chrysalis. The chrysalis is being broken. You could also relate it to the birthing, the breaking of the waters. a birthing moment. So it's the emergence, perhaps, of the butterfly from the chrysalis state, formerly a caterpillar. And it's necessary to embrace the energy of organization, the rhythmic nature of balancing energy. And hence that keynote, I organize in order to catalyze balancing energy. I seal the matrix of self-generation with the rhythmic tone of equality. So this is a combination of seals and tones. Every day it's a different combination. So that's just giving us some indication of the nature of the year that will unfold now from out of the day after the day out of time.
Fabulous. So fascinating. I love it when we are co-creating around these things. Really beautiful.
Okay, so shall we, without further
Wondering
ado?
if anybody needs a short body break, maybe to get something to drink, some water, or go to the bathroom, or we can continue if everyone's okay. All good. I love today because I'm a white rhythmic mirror. I have to say, I'm a white rhythmic mirror. So for me, it's all about reflection. And I must say, Fran, you know, when you said you want to understand more about your aspect, your mind galactic signature, when I discovered mine, it was like everything made sense to me. I understood exactly why I was the way I was and the way people responded to me. So I think it's a huge tool. And I love the, you know, it really speaks to my nature because I'm very much about balance and equality and integrity and, you know, things to be right. And I'm born in the wave spell of the Skywalker. That's why John mentioned it. So I love that navigation of space, and it just feels beautiful to me.
And for me, I remember when you gave that to me when we were speaking way back in the Herculean, you know, vision, but I can't remember mine. So will you at some point, don't interrupt now, but at some point I'd be having an understanding now. I would really like to know mine too.
Do you mind if I look it up and type it into the chat?
That's fine. I'll stick it right here. So do you need
I'll do
birthday?
that. No, I've got it. I have your details. I've got your cosmology on file.
Perfect. Thank you.
And while you're doing that, let's prepare for meditation. And this is really just an alignment. However, we will contemplate briefly on the keynote for the new year, solar or Sirius solar year.
And John, you do have the audio for the water ceremony.
Uh-huh.
No doubt.
Yes, I do.
Great. We're going to do it seamlessly tonight. Watch us.
Or would you like to play it from your side? Let me see if I can...
I don't mind. I can play it from my side. You can give me screen share and...
Yes, I think that would be best. So...
All right, I'll
take us into the meditation.
All right.
Okay, so let's take two or three deep breaths. And let go of any tensions. And bring our mind to stillness. Breathing joy into our heart center. And as we do so, radiating out from the heart into the field of relationships, the energy of pure love. And allowing the field of relationship, as we link up with one another, to include our families, our groups, and throughout the world, breathing in joy and radiating out the energy of love to include the one humanity. And project the energy of love into the mind as we begin to focus our awareness into the Ajna center. And integrating the threefold instrument of mind, emotion, and physical body as the medium of the incarnating soul. And expand that field of awareness to take in the Noosphere, the mind of Gaia. That mind of awareness, integrating within the life of our planet. And move back upon a line of golden light into the heart of one's being. And visualize a small golden sun radiating the light and life of consciousness everywhere present. And now, focusing the awareness in the vertical, the alignment above and below, to the planetary heart center and to the kingdoms of nature, of Gaia. Invite and invoke a precipitation of the pure energies of life and love and purpose to breathe into the kingdom of the crystal and mineral kingdom of Gaia. Breathe in the spirit of the Christ, of the Sophia Christ, into the plant, the forest, the tree spirit of Gaia. Breathe in the spirit of life and love into the kingdom of the four-legged, the winged and the creatures of the deep. And breathing the energy of life and love into humanity, the fifth kingdom incarnating into the fourth, the one humanity. And as that humanity, the minds of the earth in resonance within humanity align upwards now to and through the planetary heart center, to the heart of the sun, and to the heart of the Milky Way galaxy, Hunabku, and to the triangle of the three constellations, Ursa Major, the Pleiades, and the blue star Sirius. And as we hold this alignment, inviting and welcoming a precipitation of pure love wisdom, pure reason, from the blue star, the heart of Sirius, to our sun, the heart of our sun, and to our planetary heart, the heart of Gaia. I will say the Gayatri mantra. O thou, in whom we live and move and have our being, who give us sustenance to the universe, from whom all things proceed, to whom all things return. Unveil to us, humanity, the divinity within each one. Unveil the true face of the spiritual sun, veiled behind a disk of golden light, that we may know the truth and do our whole part as we journey to thy sacred feet. And as we identify and find our place of being within the heart center of our planet, contemplate the seed thought for the day out of time. I empower in order to reflect, commanding order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the overtone of radiance. Guided by the power of death. And now, in alignment through the heart of the sun to the heart of Hunabku, the Milky Way galaxy, and from within the heart center of humanity, let us visualize and precipitate the waters of life to all beings as we, the people, awaken to the Noosphere of Gaia. And let us sound the Om together. Om. And gently relax and return to normal focus.
So I'll ask everyone just to remain in the state of heart connection, each of us connected to the other, and connecting to our loved ones, wherever they are, to our greater soul family, our monad, and to the heart of the galaxy as we go into the water ceremony. Right. Please bear with me. I'm not a fundi with this. I've got to share sound as well, right?
Yes, share sound and an image. That's right, it's working.
Okay, if everybody can just give me a thumbs up that you do hear. I'm going to move it forward a little because I believe everyone does have their bowl of water with them. Not quite sure where it stopped. Around about there. See how we go. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful meditation, John. Right. I'm still in the silent part where I'm giving everyone a chance to get water and water. Holding your alignment, take a few gentle, deep breaths. And on the out breath, expand that golden sun, the universal fire at the center of your being. As it expands, the white gold radiance of the will energy of the Divine Father permeates through your entire being. Now, remember your conception in the nourishing waters of the cosmic womb, the womb of the Great Mother. See and feel this translucent energy of a higher frequency obsidian, imbued with fine filaments of gold. Recognize this as the creative energy of the Mother. Allow these two energies to swirl around you in your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. Breathe into this divine energy and notice how it feels in your bodies. If there is any misaligned or discordant feeling or thought, gently raise that up into the crucible of the universal fire of love for transmutation. Take some time now to feel more deeply into this flow of Hieros Gamos energy, the perfect aspect of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Recognizing that we, as incarnated human beings, are composed of a high percentage of water, let's now imagine the purest water coursing through our veins, imbuing every cell of our bodies with the highest frequency you can possibly hold in this moment. Gently breathe into this flow. Again, become aware of any blockages or discomfort you may feel. Trust your higher self to show you and invite the water of Source, of all that is, to wash over these areas, clearing any past patterns or thoughts that no longer serve you. You may feel these energies as a spiraling perhaps as a fountain or a powerful waterfall, maybe a gently meandering river, or as a great roaring ocean. However this presents for you, hold the thought within your bodies of the perfectly merged, harmonized, and balanced energy of the Mother and the Father. This is the marriage of the sun and the moon within each of us. If you wish, imagine yourself as a magnificent golden chalice. See these supernal energies fill you to overflowing. They are the waters of life pouring forth for a thirsting humanity and into your world of form. Invite the blessing and transformation into all places and spaces to transmute, transform, and anchor divine love wisdom and divine will for yourself, your loved ones, and for the highest good of all life everywhere. Now gently return to your physical body, retaining this focus of being a chalice. Hold your hands over your bowl of water and take the next few moments to decree and affirm your intentions from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness for all. Let us now express our gratitude. Spirit and all the great beings of light truly love it when we sing songs of thanks. Take a few moments for that. You may wish to hold this energy within your field for the next few days or weeks as we move into the very powerful and significant 888 Lyran Stargate of Mira Hai. We give great thanks to all those who are with us now in this co-creation. And those who should leave, we bid go well. And those who stay to be with us at this time, we salute and welcome you. The sacred circle is now closed. Slowly return to your physical body, hands on heart if you wish, and then gently move your hands and feet, roll your head around, shrug your shoulders, feel how alive you are. And then you can open your eyes when you are ready.
Thank you, Leonie. That was really beautiful.
At some point, my computer said sharing paused. I'm like, no. I presume everybody heard it. Great. Thank
I have
you.
my water bowl charged. I'm going to put it on the altar and put flowers in it and so forth. And next, in a week's time, I'll take it out to the garden and to the river. I used to do that every week. I used to do it every Sunday.
Wow.
I look forward to doing it again. Yeah.
Great. Anyone have impressions or anything they'd like to share before we close?
During the meditation, the crystals on the table literally started glowing. You know, that real big smoky citrine. She's sitting in front of me and she's like glowing from within. It was absolutely beautiful. And the two crystals that wanted to be part of the water ceremony, one is a Shangan amethyst in hydro, and the other one is a Tibetan in hydro. So that was quite powerful.
Well done.
Very good. Thank you. Just the beauty of the entire experience was just extraordinary. And I have my crystals of rose quartz both floating in that water.
Oh,
But Robin, I am going to get my anhydrous out of the cabinet and onto my desk from now on, because that ancient water that's encapsulated in those bubbles is so extraordinary. So thank you for that reminder.
Thank you. Big hit in the heart there.
And thank you so much for being here. You know, we're just a little group, but you know, we're forming apparently 2 triangles, which is significant all by itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
So much gratitude and love.
Thank you, Fran, and to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Robin, Akira, Andrea, Jonathan, Leonie, Anusha Rao. Thank you.
Before we go, just
Mm.
let's have a quick circle and go around as to your ideas and inspiration, also suggestions as to going forward. Because strangely, and perhaps unusually for me, I actually have very little idea. I'm kind of blank. I'm at the I'm a co-pilot here at the seat of a possibly a minibus. I don't know, and I don't know where we're going, but I'm willing. So there's many aspects and directions that one can take. You can tell that I'm enthusiastic with the nature of time and walking the path, becoming sacred in that way. And the Noosphere is something which is evolving and taking shape. There's avenues to investigate. We may each wish to suggest something which we could all focus on for a future gathering. That is, so it's really one of equality if we're going to do anything. Over to you.
Yeah, lovely. I feel very much that it's, we know that we're moving into this new way of doing, that it's group work and that we co-create together. So we're really inviting that co-creation. And I heard pioneering, sort of blasting in the background as you spoke.
I'm so deeply sorry that I have to be somewhere else in 10 minutes.
Yes.
So I just must go and say it was so beautiful today, and I just hope we get together very soon to continue and exactly everything that we did today to build on what we did and just go forward. This rich wisdom just waiting for us to open it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fran. Lovely to see you. Lots of love.
And
I don't have any specific ideas, except I am really drawn to this work. And I think that we have stepped into something that tomorrow is about, and for this upcoming year, as in my minimal of understanding, is about beingness and about that reorganization that is so important in bringing in the new and the disintegration that happens in reorganizing. And so I think there's something really important about some sort of continuity. For me, it's going to be just kind of reviewing this and going back and studying a little bit about the tones and the seals, because there's something really important in that. So
yeah,
I will follow one's lead.
thank you, Andrea. Just a couple very quickly. What we will do is send out the slides with the keynote for the new year. We can reflect upon that. Blue Rhythmic Storm. But 13 tones and 20 seals, is it? So 2 by 13 is 26. And then you've got 260 days in total. You've got an age is a little less than 2,600 years, and a great year is a little less than 26,000 years. So in the 20 by 13, we have somehow literally a perfect fractal that relates our human experience to the solar and to the galactic. It's in that harmonic. Okay, on that.
On that beautiful note.
Much love. Much love.
That's an incredible, a dynamic fractal, as a diamond. Yes, that was pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Robin, Andrea. Thank you. I love you guys. Bye, Jonathan. Love you too.
Love you too.
You are.
Bye. I'm going to stop the recording.
I just did.